And now, to help us learn more about Native Americans and their way of life on the North Fork, here's Tipi Ted and his assistants, Rex and Liam Spielman.
And then we're going to keep moving this deer skin. The longer it takes to dry, the longer it's in motion, the softer the deer skin will dry. And instead of rawhide, now we're going to have tanned skin. Okay, this used to be just like that. Now this is not leather, because the brains make it look like suede on both sides. Didn't have the leather look, that shiny look, until they started getting into more of a chemicals added to the deer skin. If you have anything that's leather, that was the part of the skin that had the fur, the animal fur on it. If you have anything that's suede, that was either a middle cut of the skin, or that was the part of the skin that was next to the meat of the animal. Now, if you want to waterproof your deer skin, you hang it over a smoky fire, and now you have a waterproof deer skin. So that was one way they used the deer skins. The bones, they could take a hoof from the deer and take the leg bone out. And here I've cut little teeth into the bone. And this was called a fleshing tool. And this was a bone that was used for actually cleaning and scraping the skins before they were tied up. And someone would have just been scraping the skin, okay, but using an actual bone tool for that. Here's part of the process where this is actually the leg bone, and then they could also make an awl, a pointy on the end, and that would have been for poking holes into the tanned deer skin, and then for sewing for clothes or pouches. Do you boys have your pouches? Do you want to go get your pouch? These boys made animal skin pouches, and because Native people didn't have pockets, they would have. You want to show your pouch? And you can see on here, what do we have here? What's this called?
Fringe.
This is called fringe. Do you know why they had fringe on their clothes and articles?
So that when they're in the woods, it would look like they were a bush, so the animals won't run away from them. They would think it's just a bush.
Aha, so it broke the outline, it broke the shape of a human, and they could. Do you know what the word would be for that when you're trying to disguise yourself in the woods? Begins with the letter C.
Camouflage.
Camouflage. Good. I love your vocabulary. Excellent. Yes.
When you're in the west, you want to have long fringe because in the west there isn't many trees. And in the east, you want to have short fringe like this, so it doesn't get caught in the trees.
Excellent. Excellent. Good. All right. Come on around here and hold this for me. And now, children long ago, do you think they had a Toys R Us to go into and buy their toys?
Nope.
No, they didn't have a Toys R Us, but they did have a Deer R Us, and they made their toys from the bones of the deer. And this is one of the toys they would make. And this was a leg bone that we put a point on. And these are also the bones in the hoof of the deer. Just like we have fingers, the deer has toe bones. And this is a game very similar to, what's a game that we have today like this?
I don't know the name.
The ball and...
The ball and the stick.
Ball and the cup. Ball and the cup. And so we want to try to, you want to hold the bones steady, and then we're going to flip it up and try to spear the bones. Ooh, when you hear it click, you know you're close. So we're going to try 3 times. Ooh, I got one. Okay. Now, any of the games, it was one for the children to have fun. Because no matter whether children lived 1,000 years ago or today, children love to have fun. So they wanted to be learning by having fun. And this was all different games of skill for the children to learn and to be patient, and so that they could walk into the woods, because the woods was the shopping center for us. Today, when we go into a store, we don't have to worry that people are going to run away. We know that anything we need is going to be stationary, going to be in one place, and we can shop. When people long ago went into the woods, they had to worry about animals running away from them. So when they were doing their shopping, they had to go in and be very what?
Quiet.
Had to be very quiet. So games were teaching the children to do that.
And careful.
And careful. Excellent.